Hello, good evening, welcome to my channel. My name is Mbamala Cynthia Ochuba, and today I'll be making a tutorial on how to cut a basic bustier or a bustier. It's going to be an off shoulder. So sit back, relax, and please enjoy my video. And if this is the first time I've come into my channel, please share, like my video, and also subscribe. Hit that red button below so you'll be first to always get notification whenever I upload my video. Today, the tools I'll be working with is my scissors, my marker, my pattern master, my tape, and of course, my pattern paper. Please watch my video to the end, okay? Alright, and I'm going to be making this, it's going to be an off shoulder. I'm going to be minusing 4 inches from this off shoulder. Now, if you want to minus off shoulder, you can go as low as 7, 8, 6, and 5. But I'm going to be using 4. The customer doesn't want it to be too exposed. So I'm going to be using as low as 4 inches. The bust point I'm working with is 10 inches. The armhole I'm working with is 8 inches. Then the underbust length I'm working with is 12.5 inches, and then I'll be adding 3 inch after my underbust. That's the band inch. A lot of people most times attach something around this area, but I won't be cutting it, so I'll be adding 3 inches. So from 12.5 I'll be adding 3 inches. So the 3 inch is going to be around 15.5, and then I'll add extra 1 inch for my allowance. I'll be using ½ inch to join the skirt, while the ½ inch will be used as a folding of the upper area. So I'm going to be tracing my lines to make it visible. Okay. You can see my lines. Hope you can see all the lines. So I'm going to label them. Remember, this is my armhole line. This is my bust points, my underbust. This is the waistline or the band line. Then this is my allowance. Okay, and so the next I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking my nipple to nipple measurement. Remember, it's an off shoulder. I'll be taking my nipple to nipple measurement. The burst I am working with is burst 36.5. Last time, if you go to my video on how to make a business that bustier, I taught you how in that video I made a chart on how to get your nipple to nipple area. I'm going to put the description below so that you watch the video and know how to get your nipple to nipple area in case you forget or you forgot to take the nipple to nipple on the customer from the customer. So from bust 30 to 35, I said you use 3 inches. So from 36 to 40, you use 3.5. So I'm going to be using 3.5. So please try go and watch that video so that you get the chart. Alright, so now I'll be using 3.5 for my nipple to nipple. 3.5. So I'll be drawing the lines 3.5. 3.5. Okay, it's 3.5. I'm supposed to be adding ½ inch for my allowance. So 3.5, you should add ½ inch. So it's going to be 4 inch. 4 inch, not 3.5. You add your ½ inch for allowance. 4 inches. Please don't mind that now. 4 inches. In that chart I told you whatever you have, you should add ½ inch to it. So you should add ½ inch to the lines, the nipple to nipple from the chart. So this is 4 inches. Remember, in the chart, the bust 36 fall into 3.5, then you add ½ inch for your allowance. Okay, now I'm going to come to the underbust area. This is the underbust area. To the underbust area, I'm going to be taking 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch on both sides. This is 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch on both sides. And so I'm going to be connecting this line down to my allowance area, or to the waist area, to the waist area. Let's see, to the waist area. And then I'm going to be connecting this line at the underbust towards the bust area. But I don't want to take it immediately. I just want to come down by ½ inch because I don't want any point around that area. I come down by ½ inch, and then at the upper bust, I'm going to be coming up by 1 inch. By 1 inch. The reason why I came down here by ½ inch is because the bust I'm working with is not a very big one. If it's from bust 40 something, I come down by 1 inch, but the bust is a very small one, not really small, but it's not really big, so I came down by ½ inch. So I'm not going to be slanting the line as usual. I want to be using my curved area to cover this line. Maybe you should try it. If you are always using a slanted straight line, I think you should try a curved one. Just try playing around with your curve. Just try play around with your French curve. So I'm going to be connecting this one to meet this line here. It's the same curve. Okay, you see how I curved it, you see. Alright, now remember I came up by 1 inch from my bust point. I came up by 1 inch, so I'll be taking 1 inch on the upper side, 1 inch on both sides, 1 inch here, and then 1 inch on this area. So I'll be connecting my lines. I'll be connecting the line to meet the bust line. But remember, I came up by 1 inch because I don't want that place too sharp. That's why I have to come up by 1 inch. I don't want my work or my bustier becoming too sharp. So I'm going to be connecting the lines. Sorry. Hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just connected the line. So I'm going to try to smoothen my work. I'll try smoothing the work using also my French curve. Try to smoothen my work. Try smoothing it. Try smoothing my work. Try to smoothen the work so it looks pretty. Alright, so this is it here. And then on this off shoulder, I'm going to be making a regular armhole. I'm going to be making a regular armhole, and I'm going to be leaving the description on how to make a regular sleeve in case you want to make a regular off shoulder sleeve. I won't be doing it here on this tutorial. It will be on my next tutorial, but just go up and see it. I'll be leaving the description below on how to make a regular sleeve, so you watch the video. So I'll be teaching you how to make a regular armhole here. And so the next I'll be taking is my shoulder measurement. The shoulder I'm working with is 15.5. Now 15.5 divided by 2 is 7.75. 7.75 is around here. And remember we took up that here. We took up 2 inch dart on this area. So I will be imputing it back. So this is a 2 inch dart, and I'll be adding extra 1 inch for my allowance. So I'll be taking the line down, taking it down this way, and then instead of the normal curve like this, I'll be drawing a slanted line around here. The slanted line will be this way, okay? So this is a slanted line. We call it a regular armhole. And I'll be showing you how to make this regular sleeve. And now the reason why we do this is because I don't want the off shoulder to fall off. I want something like this. We usually use this on Igbo Blouse, on Madame Blouse and all that. So I don't want the off shoulder to fall off. That's the reason why I have to make it a regular armhole, not the usual round armhole you know. So now I'm going to be imputing my bust measurement. The bust I'm working with here is bust 36.5, and then when we divide it into 4, we have 9.125, 9.125. So I have it here, 9.125, and I'll be adding as much as 3 inches for my allowance. I know why I usually take more of this allowance, because I don't want to be short of fabric. Alright, so the next I'll be doing is to take my underbust measurement. The underbust I'm working with is underbust 30 as a circumference. The round underbust is for 30. So 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. And then this dart I have here, 2-inch dart I took out from this place, I'm going to be adding it back, 2-inch dart. So I have 2-inch dart here, 2 inches dart, and I'll be adding 3-inch for my allowance, 3-inch extra for my allowance. Please, you should have more allowance. You should have more allowance. It's better to have more allowance than not having what at all. So I am going to be connecting my lines. I'm going to be using this line here to connect what my line. So I'll connect this to the waistline. I'll be connecting this to the waistline and then to the bust line. I'm not going to be using this now, and then I'm going to be connecting it to the armhole line. So I'm going to be remaking this alteration, and then I'm going to reconnect this way. Okay, so this one is out of the picture, so I'm connecting this way. At the end of this end of the tutorial, or maybe when I'm going to start stitching this clothes, I'm going to be making a lot of alterations, like all this here. I'm going to be making a lot of alteration, but I like having more allowance when I'm cutting. When I'm sewing, I trim. Okay, so this is my Bustier pattern half cuts, okay, with the regular arm hole. Alright, so, and I'm going to be imputing my neckline. So I'll be coming down by 1 inch around this area. I'll be coming down by 1 inch. You can decide to come down by 2 inches depending on what you want. I don't want it too exposed. Okay, let me use 1.5 inches. So from here, I'm going to be making something like a round neck. You can make a sweetheart neck if you want, depending on what you want. So I am going to be making a round neck. Okay, let me use the other one. Let me use this. Making a round neck or sweetheart neck, depending on what you want. Okay, and then I'm going to be adding ½ inch around this area, because if I cut out like that, I'm going to be short of what fabric. So this is it. You can decide to make any kind of neckline you want, like something like this V. Okay, I'm going to be cutting this out. I'm going to be cutting it out, but before I do that, I'm going to be placing another fabric under so I can cut out the back at once. This is how I do it here. Instead of cutting the back, I'll show you how to cut it at once. So I'm going to grab my scissors, and remember we are going to be putting our zipper allowance. Put our zipper allowance. So I'm adding 2 inch for my zipper allowance. Okay, I'm using 1.5 inch for my zipper zipper allowance. You can use 2 inch, you can use 1 depending on the fabric you are working with. So I'm using 2 inch for my zipper allowance. So I'm going to be cutting it out now. So I'm going to be following this straight line here. I'll be following this straight line here, so I can cut out the back first. Cutting out the back first. So I'll slit open the back zipper area. Slit it, open it. Cut this off. Cutting out the neckline here, and then I'll trim off the darts on the front area. Trim off the darts. Then I'll cut out the back, and I'll show you how it looks like. Remember, I am tracing both the back and the front together. So is this armhole not too small? Yes, of course, it's too small. By the time I finish stitching, I'm still going to go in here more, depending on my sleeve, okay? I'm still going to go in here more. I'm going to be using a neckline of 5 inches. By the time I stitch both this one and this together, I will now take neckline of 5 inches, depending on who I'm working with. I'll take a neckline of 5 inches, okay? And then I will slant the remaining. Alright, maybe I'm going to do a video on when I'm sewing this, but that will be later. So don't mind the small you are seeing here. Okay. Alright, okay, maybe when I finish writing, I'm going to use pin to hold it, then cut out the neckline, and then I'll tell you how it's going to look like. That's this place. Okay, now I'm almost through with cutting out the back. Cutting out the back, I'm almost through with it. Let's finish it up so I can cut out the front. So this is the back. This is the back here. So let me trace out the front. So this is the front here. Hope you can see. This is the front. This is the front, okay? Hope you can see the front. This is the front pattern. And so by the time I join here, and join this other side, I'm now going to cut out the neckline and now trace out my armhole properly. Okay, I'm going to join the papers and I'll show you how to trace out your armhole. Alright, I'm through with the joining. You can see I have joined it. Despite the pattern paper, you can see I've joined it. So now I'm going to be cutting out the neckline. Yes, this is when I now cut out the neckline. Don't mind the excess allowance I put there. I advise you do so because if you do that, at the end of everything, you will be short of what? Of fabric. It's better to have excess than not having at all. So I'm going to be using a neckline of 5 inches. neckline of 5 inches. Here, neckline of 5 inches. But if you're working for a bigger bust, what you have to do is, you first of all measure what you have there before the joining. You add extra 2.5 to it. Okay? You add extra 2.5 to it. But in the case of this person, I'm going to be using 5 inches. So the 5 inches is around here. Okay? And remember, this is the armhole. This is the armhole area. Don't forget that this is the armhole area. So now with a slanted line, I'm going to slant it to this line here. Remember, it's a regular sleeve. So I'm going to slant it to meet the line here. I'm slanting it now. Okay. So just slanted. Now you can see what I was talking about. So I'm going to be cutting this off. So this is it. So I'm going to be teaching you on my next tutorial how to cut a regular or sleeve. How to get a regular sleeve. Alright, please, if you have found this video helpful, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Hit that subscription button below, the red button, the one you're seeing there. Hit it so you get notified whenever I upload my videos. I upload videos here on YouTube twice every week. Thank you very much for watching. See you in my next class. Bye.